Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another airbrushing step by step. This one's the Pink Panther. Let's take a look at the products. I've got my piece ready to go. What I've done is I've projected it up, penciled it out, then took it over to the cutting mat, placed a piece of Pro Mask over the top, completely covered the piece of A3, and then you will see your pencil outlines underneath your Pro Mask, and then you just cut it out very lightly with a scalpel. I've cut round Inspector Clouseau and the actual Panther itself, cut round that, and then cut the actual text out as well. That was a little bit fiddly. It was quite fiddly because it's quite small, but if you've got a decent scalpel like the one that I shown in that video clip, you won't go wrong because they're great scalpels, they really are. So I've cut it out and I've got the inners of these two to the side. So if I need any pieces, I can just bring them over and chop pieces out. Now when it comes to the colours, don't panic on colour matching. I haven't, I've not got mine absolutely bang on to the actual image, but I'm in that sort of ballpark, so it doesn't really matter, you know, as long as you get your pinks and your browns, his shoes, and a bit of like a flesh tone for his face, you'll be good to go, you know, don't stress. So we'll move in and we'll crack on. Right, I think we're good to go. Now the first one we're going to start on this one here. Beauty of having the Pro Mask on, it keeps your image nice and sharp, so when you demask it at the end it will look nice and crisp. Now what I say by colours, I'm not mirror matching, so we're just going to go in and we're going to put the colour down and then we'll tint over it. I'm using like a light caramel out of my set, and I've just warmed it up a bit with a little bit of orange, so nice and light. I'm doing like a mottled pattern here, where you're sort of on and off the trigger and just pulsing down bits of paint, just to give it sort of a textured type look. We're going to be using pencils, Caran d'Ache pencils, a black and a white. So just filling in this part of the hand. We're on the Giraldez again, running around, it's around 22 psi with this. You're just creating that 3D shape. You're making things look like they've got a little bit more shape to them. That'll do for that bit. Right, move on to the other hand, and just going to do the same again. Go down with like a mottled pass first, like that. And then just go up a little bit closer. And you're now sort of shading around the edges and just rolling the edges off so they look a little bit more 3D. Like that, move on to the face, going to do the same again. A little bit under this eye. You see what I mean by my colour's not bang on, but it's good enough for a tone on the face. Mottled pattern around the nose. Like that. Go up a little bit closer if you want them sort of dots that he's got on his nose. And then where the highlight area is at the top, just do a light pass. Back off and do a light pass. Keep that area sort of light. Don't worry about spraying over the edge of the moustache because that's black, so if you go over that, don't worry. Mottled pattern again, coming under the chin. Here. And here. And the bottom of the chin again, just roll that up a bit. A bit more on the nose. And then you can just start to back off and then just shade it out. More little mottled effect again. come up close to that edge of the coat. Like that. Bottom of the eye, just put a darker pass in. We're going to go back over this in a darker tone. More little dots. Let's go a little bit closer with your dot work. Get some of the little tiny ones. Just speckle that out across it. Like that. Closer ones. Like that. Back off and just start to tint things in a bit. That'll do for that colour. Now we can I'm going to just tint over with this. Just going to have a look at another colour. See how it looks. That'll do. I'm going to tint over the top. On that crease. Tint round there. You can shield off that, just hold a shield up. Just to tint round that. Hold the shield again. Use that to sharpen the eye up and on top of the eyelid. Like that. Just a little pass. Just tint over that. Shield off the hat and just tint there, work that along. Under the eyes. That little lip under his eyelid, and that one, like that, and just tint to one side of it. And a bit more under the nose. Do that little bit in the ear. That. come down the side of the edge of the jacket. Like that. And just tint with a little line here. A little line in there. Underneath the tash, don't worry if you go onto the tash. Just do a little bit there. Crease coming this way. Just a little click off on that corner there. Just start to tint this back now. Like that. Sharpen this one up here. Give it a little bit more. Darken this one up. And here. And here. That'll do. Go a little bit more on the bottom of the nose. Some little dots in. Same here. Right, that'll do for that pass. And we're just going to do the same on the hand. We're just going to sharpen bits up with the same tone just to blend it in. This is what I mean by don't worry about your flesh tone being off, because if you do the whole thing in your own colour, it's not going to look as bad then. Get round the hand. And, shield that jacket off and just drop a bit in there. And the bottom of that finger. Blending out again. That'll do. Can add to that. Same with this one. Shield that bit off and just drop a bit there, there, and then just shade the knuckles in. A little bit coming down here. Don't worry about any pencil lines. We are going to be going darker on this. Like that. Let's just go back up to this ear and just shade that in a bit more, like that. Just a little bit. on his face there. And there. A little bit more in this nose area. It's coming down. Here. Like that. Line under there. Right, so that's that bit in. Here. Just keep a sort of eye on your reference. If you go too dark too quick, because everybody does. I've done it loads of times and still do. Because half the time you're looking at a white piece of paper and you instantly tend to go dark because you're staring at white and it makes your colours still look light. A little bit around that nail. Just line it out like that. Move back up to this end, just go a little bit darker on that. Like that. Now what we can do is get a pencil eraser and you can go in and just, you might take a bit of the ink away if you're using ink. Just nib away a bit of these pencil lines. Slightly lightened it up, but it doesn't matter because we can add. Right. Your best bet now is to get this eye lined out, Caran d'Ache pencil, and just line the top of that lid out. There's a very, very faint one that goes round the bottom, like that. It's a lot easier than trying to hit that with black in the airbrush. It really is. Right, a little bit of cleaner. Clean your brush because we're going to be swapping up to a black now. Just going to get that moustache in. Just give mine a little mix. And then you can go in. You're just going to do little dagger strokes. Because you're creating like a moustache type texture, so little dagger strokes, layer it up. like that. Now if you've gone solid black on this, because you can't get your dagger strokes down, don't stress. Get yourself your Caran d'Ache and then you can just drop some real fine little white hairs in, like that. And then you can just tint back over the top and just blend them in and build it up that way, if it's easier for you to do that. So that's that bit in. A little bit of hair at the back here, so it's dark, so we need to shield off that part of the face. So just very carefully go in. Like that. Shield it. Best you can. That'll do on that bit. So that's that in. I'm going to go over this eye here, make it a little bit darker. Like that. So we've got that bit done. Now we need to go for a tone. So I'm going for a bit of that black. Mix with that brown tone there. And this is for the sort of shadow area where I need it darker, where the hat is. Just going to go in freehand with this. Let's get that shield. Just sharpen that edge up. Like that. Just give that a little bit of a sharp edge. Like that. That'll do. And then just drop that around the bottom of the nose. And then under this tache edge here, and just here, you can dust a bit over the tache as well, just to knock that bit back. We'll put the same tone in here, in this crease here. Just blend that onto the fingers in the creases. And here. and in that centre of the ear. Make it a little bit darker. And in this little crease here. And then just do a little bit on here. Like that. And there. That'll do. And just with them simple tones there, it's brought it together. Made it look a lot better. Now, we can drop a bit of that just in the bottom of the eye. Like that. Make this one a little bit darker here. Like that. Right, time to clean your brush again, because you've had a load of different colours in it. So a little clean of your brush. Blast it through so you're seeing clear. Right, we're going to move on to his hat. What colours have I got here? We'll go with this one. As I say, don't stress if your colours are out. Now we're just going to tone this straight in. With a tone. Like that. And then bits there. Just a light pass. That'll do. Then I'm going to get, it looks like a brown colour. What have I got here? I don't know whether this will do or not, we'll try it. Just see what that looks like. We'll go with that. And you're just going to do a mottled pattern again underneath. We're going to go darker on this. And here, just darken this one out. I'm just going to do a staggered mottled like pattern. And tint over the top. Same again here. Sort of coming like little lines. like that. Just giving it that look. And just a little bit over here. Little dot lines. Just put that ridge in there. Around here. And then just tint over that. Tint that bit, drop a bit on there, bit on there. I'm going to darken that tone off. Drop a little bit of black in it and just darken it out a bit. Under here. Just put a little shadow under there. A little shadow at the back. One there. A little bit in there. Like that. Just going to do some little lines across it. It's not perfect, but does the job. And we can tint back over this. Clean the brush out, go back to that mix I had before. Go back in and just sharpen some of these up. So you could have got a great effect with this. If you could erase back, you can do a little, you could put the first tone down and do like an eraser over it and go into the paint and draw the highlight out that way, and you'd have got the near enough identical effect as what's on the reference. That's not bad. That'll do for the hat. Right, we will move on to his jacket. So clean your brush out. We're just going to grab another random colour. And just do the same again. We're going to go for the same sort of texture. What's this one? I think that's that one again, isn't it? Let's just try that against the... We'll go for a little bit, we'll do a mix on the fly. Right, we're going to go for the coat, so just a mottled pass again. Just go for this all over, this mottled pass. Just going to buzz this in. If you just put your paint to minimal and keep it on, and just move your brush in and out on the paper, you can get a nice mottled effect that way. If you're not good at bouncing on minimal trigger, get your minimal trigger down. Something like that. Then just give it a little tint over. And just aim for your shadowy areas. Like that. Put them in. Get some little creases in there. Hello. Like that. A little bit, just line that out. A bit around there. Just line them bits out. I'm going to be going back over this. Around there. Just line them out. Little lines on them. Fill that little bit in there. I think that'll do. Yeah. Right, let's grab another colour. What this one is, probably the same. Might be a little bit. Really want. Just looking at some colours. What's this one? So you can do the jacket whatever colour you want. I'm just going to go with this one. Just mottle over the top. like that. Another pass of that. Grab another colour. Let's go for a little bit of and do again. I'm just going to mottle over the top with this one. Tint over the top, and I can just chuck a little bit of yellow in with that. Brighten it up a bit. It's got a lot of texture on that jacket, like tiny little dot work. Really, if you look up close to it, and I'm going to say you're going to be beating yourself up. I can achieve it, I can do it, but it's like it'll just take forever to do. And I don't want to go down that route with you doing it. Right. Let's get a little bit of this in there. Doing a little mottle pass over the top. And this one. That'll do. A bit more up close. Pattern. A few little bits. Now, clean the brush out, because the brush is starting to clog up and it's not spraying. You'll get it. A lot of us tend to just keep going colour, 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 get it done, quick, 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 quick. And then that's when things go wrong. That's when the brush clogs up. So just keep stopping and checking your brush. Back bubble it, give it a clean, have a break for 5 minutes. before. Brown type mix. Get a shield ready. Right, got a brown mix. Grab a shield and just going to start to tint. Shade this jacket in. Some little shading bits. The edges of the jacket, just separate his chin. Like that. A little bit round here. Sharpen that one up. Same down here. Tuck that round there. Separate that. I'm going to thin this paint out. The brush ain't liking it. And this is what you got to do. Whether it's a new brush, you know, better airflow with the Giraldez and better atomisation, you still get trouble with them. No matter what brush you've got, if you ain't got your paint mix right, it ain't going to flow and do what you want it to do. It still ain't flowing great. Can hear it. Not at all. Just separate that and sort of spray it onto your shield. and let the overspray just bounce off onto your piece of artwork. Let's go a little bit darker on that, and just kick that off a bit. Same with that one. You're just doing a dagger stroke and flicking upwards. Got like a dark crease in there, so hit that quite dark there. And then just flick off of that. Like that. That'll do. Little bit there. Little bit around here. And just shadow that off. Kick up there. Just shadow that down. Line that. Bring that down a bit, darken it in here. And here a bit more. Work around the hands. Like that. Just give that a darker hit. That bit in there. Do another line next to it. Another little one there. Bit around the elbow. A little bit on the jacket coming up here. And the buckle. Shade that in there a bit. Down here. A little bit of shade in here. going to try and run a line now. It's really close down here, next to the easel. Probably screw this up. Come on, brush. Get it. You will get it. Your paint's not right. It's not gonna have it. That'll do. Let's get a little bit more of a shadow under here. There. A bit in here. Darken that out there. One line up here. A bit of shading on that. Here. A little bit darker in there. I think that'll do on that. For his jacket, I think that'll do. I'm just going to colour the tie in the brown that I've got in it now. Darker there. Now what we can do is just very lightly knock back Put some little highlights in around here. And here. Like that. Some little bits. You can do this on his face as well. If you do this, you'll create them little textures in his skin. Like that, gives you that mottled look then. Like that, and do that on his hands as well. On his fingers, you can just knock the paint back. It will come off very lightly, but it'll give you that texture what you're after. I think that'll do on that. That jacket's fine. Now you can go in with your Caran d'Ache and just colour it in. Just line that slight bit out there. And any bits you want sharpening to darken up, you can now. And if you don't like the Caran d'Ache on there, you can just knock it back. Got a little bit of highlight here. I'll do. I'm going to go with that. Right, on his trousers they're just a brown, and I've got a, well, I did have a dark brown in there. I'll mix a little bit more and just do the same on the, yeah, I'm just going to go with this brown will do for his trousers. I didn't mask that off. I'm going to do that now. A little bit of Pro Mask. Stick it on like that. Grab a scalpel. And then you can just cut that piece out. I'll try to. Like that, that'll do. Right, get this brown in here. Go in with this, then we can darken it off. mottled pattern again. Same here. I'm going to use this for the shoes as well. Light pass there, a light one there, a light pass there. Little pass over that. I'm running out of air with the compressor. And just do a mottle around them two light passes. And go full dark here. Light pass, dark. We'll go full past there. A little bit of brown here. A bit here. A little bit tighter with the mottle pattern now. I really don't like these trigger tops on these. They are not comfortable, not for long periods of time. Someone's messaged me today. Is the new trigger on the new Giraldez the same as the Infinity? And I went, yes. I'm not going to bother then. A lot of people are put off by it. I can see why. It's like, it's just uncomfortable. It can dig in. I mean, I had the Evo trigger in this yesterday and I should have just left it in because it works a lot better. Right, that brown that's in there, and thin it, and I've got to turn the compressor on. We are running this brush ridiculously low with the air pressure in it at the minute. Who's doing it? Yeah, it's way too low for this now. Just give it a little bit of thinning. We'll get these shoes in, then I'll put the compressor on. Make these a little bit darker than the original. That'll do. Darken that out a bit more. Right, just going to pause for a minute, put the compressor on. Right, compressor's fired up. I'm going to go in with a pencil eraser again and just punch out a little bit of this. Brighten that up a bit. That'll do, that's the shoes in. Brush clean. Cotton bud, give that a clean, we'll get the magnifying glass in and then that's done. Right, I'm going to grab a grey. Give that a little mix. Just going to go in and drop a bit of grey on here, lightly. And here. Up here. And then on the inside of here, same again. A little bit on here. Like that. I'm going to drop a little bit of this on here. We've got a sharp edge here. And then a half moon sort of here, coming up. And then one that way as well. That'll do, and then a little bit in between. Bit there. A little bit there. Continue that up there a bit more. Like that. And drop a drop of black into that. Make it a little bit darker. Just come into this edge here. Just sharpen that edge there. And on this bit here. Around there. Like that. And just step it in slightly. And go around again. Like that. A little bit around here. Separate that. Dark edge up here. Do a little bit there. Up to that masking. Just be careful of his nose and move that way. Around there. A little bit of a little bit there. There. Like that. I'm going to get a little bit of bright blue. Pull this through. That'll do. Just drop a little bit in there. Brighten that up a bit. Like that. A bit on there. This there. A little bit on the inside. Right, Caran d'Ache pencil. Just line these out. A little bit in here. In here. Okay. That'll do for that. Right, down to the handle. It's brown again, so back onto the brown. Clean your brush. Shield off the finger. Rub it down here. Drop a little bit of black into that brown. Back bubble. It wants to come out the brush. Shield that finger off it. There. Like that. And that bit up there. Let that finger back a bit more. In here. That'll do. Right, that's in. We'll move up next and get the text in. Clean your brush because you've had black in it and brown in it and blue in it and probably every other colour from the start. Quick clean. Sort your paints out because you've probably got your lids off your paints like I have because you're buzzing through the colours. Just have a little tidy up. Right, a pink, doesn't matter what pink. A bright one if you've got one. I've not really got a bright one, so I'm going to go with this one. It'll do. It's pretty bright. That'll do. Right, I'll just move the camera up. Alright, we've got the pink in. Literally just go over your letters. Now if you've got pencil marks, which there's going to be, we'll get rid of some of them at the end. listen to that grainy spray. That's paint. It's doing it though, it's atomising it even though it's grainy. A little bit more. Try not to go too heavy quick when you're spraying against a mask. Because it'll only dwell up on the edges of your masking. And probably soak under. A lot less with Pro Mask because it sticks better. But application tape, if you give it too much, it will ride underneath the edge of the masking. That'll do. Let's run some air over that. That's that bit in. Right, moving on to the Panther. I'm just going to use that pink that I've got. And go straight in. Now you're creating that 3D shape again, so spray to sort of the edge of your mask and leave a white line, a lighter line in the middle. You're creating 3D shapes. Make sure your masking's down. Oop. A little bit of a smudge there. Nice and light. And you can see how I build the bottom one up, and then between like the toes go a little bit darker. Coming round. Got a lot of overspray there. Should have masked that off. What we'll do is we'll try and lose a bit of that with erasing it. That's better. Like that. Just a bit over. You go darker on this side with his forearm. Darker in there, let it roll off. Darker down this edge here. like that. And a nice light pass here. I'm going to knock that bit out now because it's pink. Probably not going to get some of these pencil lines out, especially around here. Might do. Just knock them out of the way. Do a light pass there. Shield that off. See what I mean by pencil lines? Got a pink Caran d'Ache, use it. I should have done when I did this and I didn't. More toning on that. Let's just give this a little bit of a separation here. Down the arm. Up there. Dust on that. A little bit on the thumb. That, move up to the ears, dust in, eyelids, more paint. Get that mix, pull it through, right. Just a light pass. Shield that off. Dark crease there. Like that. Go around again, just darkening bits off. I'm just going to darken this pink up in a minute. We need to get rid of some of them pencil lines as well. If they're going to go, probably not. I'm going to darken this pink up. Yeah, we'll just give it a little bit darker. Hopefully you're picking that up or not blocking the camera too much. A bit more in here. Around there. Like that. Got a little shadow in here. Bit down there. I think that'll do on that. Right. Just gonna put a little line in there. That's a little line. There. This purpley pink colour. Just line that out because there's a little line around that. And the little bits. Just line them with that. That'll do. Right. remove the eye shields. And get the other mask that you've got left. Clean your brush. Bit of yellow. Like that. Leave that on. Switch it up to black. Ooh, that come out quick then. And just do a little dust. A little bit much there, you do. That'll do. Clean the brush, need to go back in with the pink, see where the mask's stepped. Dust a little bit of pinking on their eyes there. Like that. A bit more on this. Caran d'Ache pencil, because there is a little bit of black, and over here. Coming round. Right, remove the nose. And then get your shield that you had. I don't know where mine's gone. There it is. And line it up the best you can. I'm going to go down with the pink first. Straight in with the red. That'll do. Slightly off. That bit. Highlight. Just nib that out with your eraser. Like that. Do a little bit of a texture in here. Right, clean your brush, in with your black and a shield. Shield off the lids. Careful of the ear. Like that. Give your brush a final clean. Well, no, keep the black in there. Now we're going to demask and see all the pencil lines. And pull the paper off in the same process. One of them things, it happens. You do all that work and then you pull the paper. Oh well. Just go around, soft eraser. Nibbing out what you don't want. That paper's not too bad. It's good it's warm in here as well. Just be careful of your masking because it will pull it. Same with these, just go around and nib out what you don't want. It just sharpens all your letters up then. Just remove them bits. These bits. You can see where that's staggered there on his shoulder. Let's get the eraser. Just nib it out. The best you can. Stick. Nib them out. See, if you had a cutter plotter, you would cut this font out and then you wouldn't have to do the pencil lines, you know? Or project up the Pink Panther straight to your Pro Mask and pencil on the top and cut straight down to it that way. I put mine over the paper then chopped it, so this is what you'll get. You just get the odd pencil line in the way. It's not a biggie. Going around nibbing them out, that's alright. Right, Caran d'Ache black pencil. Keep the black in the brush. I'll just slightly move you down on the camera. And just do I think we've got a drop shadow. Just going to very lightly. Do more in black. Why not? I think that would do. Sharpen that bit up on the nose. And there you go. Hopefully you've achieved the Pink Panther with us. There you go. Job done. Went down sort of really well. We had a little bit of a pull here, not much, just slightly lifted the paper, not badly. You know, you just push it back down and you can't hardly see it. But I hope you enjoyed it and sort of learnt something along the way. You get your nice sharp in when you mask it. It keeps it nice and contained so you can work in them areas and not get loads of O-so. So it's a nice, clean image. Quite an easy one to do, just take your time like that. And you get it down, you know. Simple colours. We didn't mirror match the colours to the image. I just grabbed pinks. I grabbed some of the colours and thought, yeah, they'll do. And just built them up. And it sort of all come together. That one came out quite quick. You just sort of spraying, as I said, you're creating that 3D look. So you go darker on the inner edges and keep that light pink to the outer, and it just makes it stand off the paper that little bit more. But if you just sort of stick to them guidelines and pause, and when we clean the brush, don't just keep trying to go through the whole process without cleaning the brush, because then you're going to get problems. You really are. You'll have problems with your paint. The brush will be playing up, and this played up. The new Giraldez played up because I was, you know, it needed to clean, it needed thinning. You could hear it a little bit grainy when we did that bit, and that was because the paint wasn't mixed. It was a pre-mixed bottle, but I didn't mix it up on the vortex mixer. I just pulled it out and it'd been sitting, so it's a bit thick. But I knew it would go down. It was like, yeah, we're doing letters, it's not a problem. If it goes down grainy, I'm just going to build it up. You know, I wouldn't have used that pink when I came to here. It was the same pink, but then I sort of thinned it down thinking, yeah, it was grainy up there, I could hear it. Move down to here, thin it down, give it a mix, and then it was spraying nice around there. So you just got to keep double checking yourself when you're sort of going round, especially with your paints. You know, I've stuck to one pressure, which was 22, and just make sure your paints are all sort of running nice. So I hope you enjoyed it. Drop your comments, tell me your thoughts. Have a good new year. Don't get too smashed, I won't. And I will see you in 2026. Crikey. Yeah, so thanks for watching. See you next year, guys.